Hey guys, got another case history here. This is actually number 7. It's a story about a successful businessman or New York executive, and Neville Goddard actually helps him attain and change the conception of himself and gives him a really good example to use. And I wanted to share this one. This is out of The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. Awesome book, probably one of the best books ever made. All right, the story illustrates the successful use of the law by a New York business executive. In the fall of 1950, an executive of one of New York's prominent banks discussed with me a serious problem with which he was confronted. He told me that the outlook for his personal progress and advancement was very dim. Having reached middle age and feeling that a marked improvement in position and income was justified, he had talked it out with his superiors. They frankly told him that any major improvement was impossible and intimidated that if he was dissatisfied, he could seek another job. This, of course, only increased his uneasiness. In our talk, he explained that he had no great desire for really big money, but that he had to have a substantial income in order to maintain his home comfortably and to provide for the education of his children in good preparatory schools and colleges. This he found impossible on his present income. The refusal of the bank to assure him of any advancement in the near future resulted in a feeling of discontent and an intense desire to secure a better position with considerably more money. He confided in me that the kind of job he would like better than anything in the world was one in which he managed the investment funds of a large institution such as a foundation or a great university. In explaining the law of assumption, I stated that his present situation was only a manifestation of his concept of himself, and declared that if he wanted to change the circumstances in which he found himself, he could do so by changing his concept of himself. In order to bring about his change of consciousness, and thereby a change in his situation, I asked him to follow this procedure every night just before he fell asleep. In imagination, he was to feel he was retiring at the end of one of the most important and successful days of his life. All right, I'm going to repeat that, guys. This is a procedure he's going to follow every single night. In imagination, he was to feel he was retiring at the end of one of the most important and successful days of his life. He was to imagine that he had actually closed a deal that very day to join the kind of organization he yearned to be with, and exactly the capacity he wanted. I suggested to him that if he succeeded in completely filling his mind with this feeling, he would experience a definite sense of relief. In this mood, his uneasiness and discontent would be a thing of the past, so he would no longer be uneasy and discontent once he completed this properly, guys. And when he succeeded in completely filling his mind with this feeling, he would no longer want it, he would have it. So there would be no more discontent. There would be no more uneasiness. Okay. I wound up by assuring him that if he did this faithfully, he would inevitably get the kind of position he wanted. This was the first week of December. Night after night, without exception, he followed this procedure. Early in February, a director of one of the wealthiest foundations in the world asked this executive if he would be interested in joining the foundation in an executive capacity handling investments. After some brief discussion, he accepted. Today, at a substantially higher income and with the assurance of steady progress, this man is in a position far exceeding all that he had ever hoped for. All right, all that he'd ever hoped for. All right, guys, I really wanted to share this here, the successful use of the law by an executive, just by filling his imagination with the fact that he had already completed it and he got rid of his want. And I'm going to read this one part here again. In imagination, he was to feel, taking the feeling as he was going to sleep at night, at the end, as if he was completing his day, or at the end of the day of the most important and successful part of, the day that he's living his life the way that he wanted. He's falling asleep with that feeling as if he already has it. So that's the key here, guys. You want to fall asleep. You don't want to fall asleep discontent or unfulfilled or unhappy, but if you can get more specific, but these testimonials will get more specific, and I'm going to continue as I go here, but I really wanted to share this one here. This is Neville Goddard. This is case history number 7 out of The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. Love you guys, and don't forget to hit like button. All right, thank you guys. I want to try to get this video out to everyone we can. All right, thank you.